And you're very welcome to the second of our nationwide RTE Big Music Week 2010 programmes. And first this evening, we're having a look at the Eurovision Song Contest. It was in 1995 that Ireland hosted the event for the third time on the trot, given our 3 consecutive and remarkable wins in the competition. Now, in that year, it was actually won by Norway, but with an Irish twist. The name of the winning group was Secret Garden, but it had an Irish member, violinist Fionnuala. Now, the group has had great success in the years since then, performing in Europe, America and Asia. And insofar as Fionnuala herself is concerned, well, she's had an absolutely packed diary with concerts, recordings, tours and so on. And to that, she has had to add and cram in the release of her first solo album. Our Mary Kennedy met up with Fionnuala at her Dublin home.
How nice to be greeted by Fionnuala Sherry playing the violin. Lovely to see you.
Welcome.
And your pal.
This is Yogi.
God, he's huge. So you practicing?
I was. And Mary, this is the music room where I do most of the work anyway.
There's a nice combination here between the traditional with the piano and this. This is quite high tech.
It is, I guess. I'm very interested in, I guess, merging both worlds. I know I play, an acoustic instrument, but I love all the electronic end of things and the programming, and I now have this set up here. And in fact, my new album, I recorded all the violin here. And the acoustic in this room I'm blessed with.
Really? And the view, Fionnuala.
Well, I have to say the view is very inspiring.
Oh, I was about to say, wouldn't that bring lovely music out of you?
We have one track on the new album called The Crossing, and it's literally because when I look out over the bay there, I know the time of day it is by the ferries when they're crossing over and back.
Can you tell me about this violin, because I feel very privileged to be holding it?
That is actually an English John Edward Betts violin,
right.
And it was made in 1790.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I absolutely adore it. It's slightly smaller than a full-size violin.
This brings back memories of you and Ron Fluffland at the Secret Garden.
This award, literally, I just got a few weeks ago, and this is our new album, which was just being released in Ireland as well with Secret Garden, and this album went gold in Norway.
Brings us right back to 1995 when we
first met.
Yes, which was when I was presenting the Eurovision and you won with Secret Garden.
And I have found the costume. I have the costume. I must show it to you. I pulled it out. It's in the kitchen. Now it looks very sad and tired at this stage, but I'll bring you into the kitchen and show it to you.
Okay.
So Mary, this is the...
I remember it well, Fionnuala.
I never got a chance to actually have a costume designed or anything special. So I lost out on that one. So this is everything that was in my wardrobe at the time. And the leather jeans were in my wardrobe. Yes, I've always loved leather jeans.
So you're not a Dub, you grew up in Naas.
Yes, I grew up in Naas, in a small part of the town, in a little cul-de-sac of 11 bungalows.
How many of you were there?
There's 5 children in the family, and I'm number 4. And so number 4 is a great position to be in, because you're away from the parents' eye. In a way. So
and do other members of your family play music?
We all played, and my mom was a fantastic piano player and my dad was a lovely singer.
And when did you decide that I'd like to pursue a career in music?
I just started playing the violin because I really loved the sound of that instrument, and then because I loved the sound of it I wanted to practice it, and because then I started practicing it I became better at it. And next thing I knew, I was of professional standard.
You were a member of the RTE Concert
Yes.
Orchestra, and then there was Secret Garden, and then there was the Eurovision. Can you divide your life into before the Eurovision and after the Eurovision?
Yes.
Because it took off, didn't it?
There was something missing. I didn't know what it was until I met Rolf, and when I heard his music, and he's just the melody man. I mean, he still is producing melodies that when he sends them to me, like again this week he's writing a new piece at the moment, and I can feel the hairs on my arms go, yes, that's the one. And the Eurovision came along at the beginning of it, so the Eurovision was our launch pad. And you know, our market then just exploded after the Eurovision. And the funny thing for us, it opened up in America and Australia and Asia, which were not Eurovision countries. So
But you're obviously also a very talented homemaker and interior designer. You've done a fabulous job here in your home.
thank you. It was a challenge, but it was a really beautiful challenge. And I didn't know whether I was capable of doing this. But I said, okay, I jumped in and decided, okay, I'm going to project manage this and do the interior myself.
The old part of the house is lovely and maintained in a very tasteful and warm way.
Yeah.
And then this is just so modern and yet country and homely as well.
So you can never take the country out of a girl. Doesn't matter how long I've lived in the city, I'm a country girl. So Bernard keeps telling me.
Now Bernard is your husband.
Yes.
And he
he's
was the
Dublin.
owner of the house,
Yes,
wasn't he?
yeah,
So you
yeah.
moved in and said, I'll change this.
Thankfully, he's a very patient man.
This has been a very important year for you,
Yes.
2010, because you and Bernard got married
Yeah.
at the beginning of the year.
Yes, we did. And it was I'm kind of surprised to have got married.
Why?
I think it was never, I don't think it was in my radar in terms that I thought it was going to happen. And when I met Bernard, inside a week I knew this is the man I want to marry. It was just instant. We're 6 months married now, and it is a very, very nice feeling to
What's
actually...
the difference?
I think it's the complete sense of commitment to each other.
This is the other big departure
Yes.
in 2010 because you've never, I can't believe you've never done a solo album
No,
before.
I've never felt a need to do one, and it's not that I'm taking a departure away from Rolf. And Rolf has been fully behind this album. This has been something that has been brewing in me for years, to revisit some of the old Irish airs that I grew
Songs
up with.
from before.
Yes.
A lot of people now listen to music to relax. Is music work for you, or do you listen to music, or what do you do to relax?
Probably the best way for me relaxing is the dog up the hills, down by the beach. I'm just walking and being outdoors. Exercise is a huge thing. I'm really into exercise.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And where do you exercise?
Out in the back, I can show you.
In the shed.
It's way more.
Oh, Fionnuala, the garden is lovely. Was this part of your project when you came into Bernard's life?
Yes and no. Part of the garden, this side over here was already here, but all of this I planted and worked on to match with the extension that we did.
Do you like to spend time here?
I do. I'm not a very good gardener, but I really appreciate gardens, and
I love the water.
I love water features. I think there's nothing more soothing and calm.
Mary, this is where I work out in the morning.
Fair play to you. This is where you're grunt and groan and pump iron first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
You're the picture of health. Is fitness important to you?
Yeah, it is. I mean, if I don't exercise, I get very depressed. So it's important for me mentally to exercise, but I also have to, I really do need to look good on stage. I mean, the next concert I'm doing is 12,000 people in the theatre, and that's in Shanghai. So it's a very good incentive, I can tell you.
Well, Fionnuala, the best of luck with the new album, and also with all the touring and with your new married life. And it's been lovely just to catch up after 15 years.
It's been too long, Mary.
Well, we were
Thank
both
you.
doing the Eurovision.
I know. What a memory. What a memory. Thank you.
And Fionnuala's CD, Songs from Before, is in the shops right now.